Thank you, Mr. Chairman. And,
5 minutes.
Mr. Secretary, thank you so much for stopping by my office yesterday evening to brief me personally on the budget. Congressman Lamborn asked about the IG report in Colorado Springs and asked the status of the manager that was removed. And there wasn't an answer given to that, so let me follow up with that. What is the status of the manager that was removed?
Congressman, my understanding is, as the Secretary had said earlier, that we have replaced the supervisor who was responsible for the scheduling. That person went to work in another part of the facility.
What disciplinary action did they receive?
I am not aware that there was a specific disciplinary action for that individual.
Mr. Secretary, don't you think that's a problem?
Not the way I read the IG report, Congressman. I think if you look at the IG report does not call out anyone for malfeasance. What it does indicate is, number one, we didn't train the people properly.
Who was responsible for that?
Well, the leader is always responsible.
Well, then why weren't they held accountable?
Well, they are held accountable. They're held accountable in their performance review. That doesn't necessarily mean they get fired.
Or disciplined.
Firing doesn't lead to excellence in an organization.
Or disciplined.
Well, discipline occurs on many different levels. I mean,
well, I'd like to know specifically what discipline.
Well, we'll get back to you. We'll get back to you on how it was handled.
Well, thank you. When you mentioned Title 38 on SES, what percentage of the workforce would that apply to?
Well, SES is about 540 or so individuals of a total of about 360,000.
Mm-hmm. So what about what?
They are the senior leaders of the organization.
And what reforms are you putting forward? Your best professional judgment, given the fact that you came from the private sector, what personnel reforms are you putting in for the others, for the rank and file?
Yeah, right now, as I told you, we're training the organization in mission and values and leadership. We've taken over 12,000 people and trained them. We've had these training sessions are cascading throughout the organization.
So there are no reforms in terms of making it easier to let poor performers go. You're not putting any reforms in that direction.
We have let 2,600 people go.
Okay. Why? We had, I think it was House Resolution 280 that came before the Congress, and we had testimony from your staff that you were neutral on that. Let me explain what that does. One of the biggest scandals the VA has had is on the appointment wait times, and I think that corruption was fed through bonus money. It was fueled through bonus money to bring those down. And yet we've had legislation before us that your office is neutral on that says that you ought to have the ability to claw back bonuses when they're fraudulently given. The only way that you can currently claw back bonuses under existing law is if it's administratively given to the wrong person, and for no other reason. Why would you be neutral on such a simple reform like that?
Well, bonus spending across the VA is down and down dramatically. In 2015, total VA spending for all award categories.
Sure, but why would you, somebody who fraudulently received a bonus, why would you demand that the taxpayers and the veterans
Here's a graph that shows you the reduction in bonus spending. And as I've laid out for the chairman a couple of times.
So you're okay, let me get this straight. You're okay with somebody who's got a bonus, even though it's been proven that they should have never got that bonus because their conduct that was fraudulent in receiving that bonus, like under the appointment wait times. So what you're saying by not supporting that legislation is you're okay with that?
I'm working on the future, not the past.
Well,
the future is about making sure people are given performance awards that measure what they do. And that's why we're bringing the bonus totals down for the department. And that's why we're relatively rating people consistent with the best practices in the private sector.
We had Glenn Hagstrom, who $1 billion over budget in the Aurora VA hospital, retired just right before he was supposed to be interviewed by the AIB. We just had Dr. Shinazi retired just after the story broke about the Hep C problem, where he was a researcher with VA, helped develop the drug there. and then left, and then took that intellectual property, created a private entity where VA did business with that private entity, and he retired. I mean, you know, what is going on? Here's the problem, that you're saying great things here, but you're not attacking the heart of the problems. And the heart of the problem is we have a horrible personnel system that that allows this bureaucratic incompetence, that allows this corruption to continue. Where are you on this?
Congressman Coffman, as I said earlier, I think if we can work on reclassifying the SESs as Title 38, that would be a big step forward. And, you know, as we've said previously, you can't fire your way to excellence. And it's my experience that we're
might be a good start.
The right steps. We are taking the right steps.
It might be a good start
To create a high-performance organization.
I think firing incompetent people would be a good start.
And by the way, I don't think I have the authority to claw back somebody's bonus after they retire. If you want that, you'll have to change the law. I don't write the laws.
Support the law, and we have legislation.
I don't write the laws.
Thank you very much.